like being shot out of a cannon, with an absolute sharp focus on being a prospective IPF World Champion, which would be another major milestone in the athlete's sporting history. Austin, the 74 or 75 kilograms athlete to beat, at current, and excitedly, possibly amongst once-in-a-generation athletes for his current generation, commenced his quest at the Powerlifting America National Trials in the hope of possibly competing on the international stage for the first time as an open or senior athlete at the upcoming IPF World Classic Championships. Austin, who was up against his fellow compatriot, Derek LoGrande, at the Powerlifting America National Trials, opened with a squat of 292.5 kilograms, after Derek opened with 217.5 kilograms.
The conversation around Austin, what he might do at Worlds, what he might do at Sheffield, all begins with this opening squat.
And his opening squat is actually over the current world record in the class.
Yeah, let that sink in. And how far is he going to take it on the day? Wow!
Easy.
Raising the bar to new levels in this 74 kilo class, Austin Perkins.
He's fired up already on his opener.
At last season's USAPL Raw Nationals, Austin assumed an average marginal squat difference for his opening between other athletes who had the second and third highest squat, which stood at 38.75 kilograms. Individually, Justin Osana, who recorded the second highest squat, opened with 225 kilograms, at a marginal difference of 32.5 kilograms, behind Austin and Joseph Borestein, who had a 45 kilograms marginal difference, with an opening squat of 242.5 kilograms. Austin's 292.5 kilograms opening is 27.5 kilograms above his overall historical average opening of 265 kilograms. Moreover, a 292.5 kilograms jump in parallel to his opening of 287.5 kilograms at last season's USAPL Raw Nationals, where he ultimately broke Taylor Atwood's world record squat of 303 kilograms, represents a 1.74% increment, which is 0.56% below his historical average increments at each meets, which stands at 2.30%. Impressively, on the other hand, if we were to compare his recent opening squat at the Powerlifting America National Trials in parallel to his season opening squat of 280 kilograms, where he first broke Taylor's prior highlighted squat world record of 303 kilograms, equates to an increment of 4.46%, which is 2.16% above his historical average, which, in some instances, signals the level of his continued linear progression for the squat discipline. Austin will later increase his second attempt by a margin of 15.5 kilograms, with a towering squat of 308 kilograms.
308 for Austin.
We talked about earlier, there's some rumors around him saying he's gonna be the first to squat 700 pounds in the 74 kilo class, and he's pacing for it.
Yeah, converting it to kilos, that's 317.5 or 318. He'll probably load 318, and you can see a 10 kilo jump. Let's see how this moves.
And he's just a talent here. This is a great squat in the weight class up. Two weight classes up even.
Yeah, I mean, we said we can't find a 74 worldwide to compete against him. Well, you'd be difficult to find 83s unless you're Russell Orhe, and look at that. 308 offers little resistance for the young king.
He's fired up.
Whilst Derek trailed behind with a respectable second attempt of 227.5 kilograms.
Might tip over the scale, and you do not want to miss a lift in this battle. That's going to be pivotal at the end of the day.
Yeah, particularly if you end up grinding it out. Now you know, you're counting the kilos beforehand, but if you miss, you go forward with just your second attempt and fall back greatly. And again, it's a long day. Other lifters will miss. You don't have to PR every lift, and if you miss, it's okay. All is not lost. Derek, 227.5. We're in the 74 kilo class. Sizable 10 kilo jump for Derek. Three white lights.
Expectations were understandably high, as the athlete explicitly stated publicly that he fully intended to squat 700 pounds.
But we're just gonna worry about Powerlifting America Nats. It really doesn't change much because he's not signing up. We're still gonna take the same jumps and take the same weights we're gonna take anyway. And then try to make him chase it. So it wasn't like he was, with him not showing up, we're just gonna go all out again. We're probably gonna take the same jumps and same numbers. It really doesn't change anything for me. We're still gonna try to squat 700 and we're still gonna do whatever we need to do after that to make sure we qualify.
But was all such wishful thinking? Austin's baseline squat projection prior to competing stood between 321.18 kilograms to 323.50 kilograms, which in theory suggested a high probability of his former world record squat of 213.5 kilograms to be broken at the national trials, pushing himself into further uncharted territory that the world of powerlifting has never witnessed. Watched as Austin confidently squatted a jaw-dropping 318 kilograms.
Arian's having that conversation, and he needs to.
Yeah, that's a pivotal conversation he's having right there.
Not all 6's. Well, we'll put a pin in that and revisit it in a second. Austin Perkins, 318. This is the first 700-pound squat in the 74 kilo class, attempting history.
Let's see it.
Is this the Austin Perkins era? Oh my goodness! And the horsepower of the new king. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Austin Perkins era.
That was the start.
And what a way to cap off the squat event with the very first 700-pound squat in the 74 kilo class.
It is worth noting that even though a 318 kilogram squat is arguably one of the most phenomenal displays of athleticism in sport in general, only one other 74 or 75 kilograms athlete has squatted 300 kilograms or more, which is none other than the former 3-time world champion, Taylor Hatwood. If we were to compare the heavier 82.5 kilograms or 83 kilograms weight class, out of only 17 athletes that have squatted 300 kilograms or more in the history of the respective weight class, Austin's colossal squat of 318 kilograms would be placed at number 3 on the all-time list, behind both Jamar Royster and Russell Orey. All of which is a true testament to Austin's talent and capability. Furthermore, a 318 kilogram squat, which may surprise some, is indeed a worst-case scenario attempt. Prior to competing, Austin's projected worst-case scenario squat attempt stood between 310.48 kilograms to 317.97 kilograms. In a worst-case scenario, such simply means that the athlete is experiencing a bad or less than ideal day on the platform. To be honest, I do believe they may have strategically played it slightly safe by squatting only 318 kilograms, considering its projected squat baseline or minimum ranges between 321.18 kilograms to 323.50 kilograms. After dismantling the prior squat world record, Austin progressed to the second stage of the trials, whereby Austin matched his 2023 USAPL Raw Nationals bench press opening of 185 kilograms.
To ever squat 700 pounds.
Earlier in the 2023 season, at the Powerlifting America Bench Press National Trials, Austin also opened with a similar 185 kilograms bench press. After Derek's opening bench of 175 kilograms, who appeared undaunted by Austin's first round performance.
On Derek, when he was an 83, he might have just been
He was about 77 kilos.
Well, okay, that's what I expect. I was going to say, if he was a 74 that just didn't cut, in 185 for Austin Perkins. Austin, the first 74 to ever squat 700 pounds.
Extraordinarily, Austin's opening bench of 185 kilograms equates to being 21.5 kilograms above his average opening of 163.75 kilograms. Interestingly, prior to the 2022 Virginia Pro, where he benched 185 kilograms and more, with a bench press of 182.5 kilograms, Austin's average opening bench press stood at 137.5 kilograms. However, between the 2023 season and the beginning of the 2024 season, Austin's average bench press opening stood at 181.67 kilograms, a substantive progressive margin of 47.5 kilograms and or 34.55% above his averaged opening prior to Virginia Pro at the end of the 2022 season, if compared directly with his opening of 185 kilograms at the PA National Trials. It was apparent that the lead advantage for the bench between both athletes was much closer in parallel with the squat. For example, Austin had a firm lead advantage of 80.5 kilograms above Derek after a second squat attempt. However, specifically for the bench press discipline, rather than his overall competition lead, the margin between both after the second bench press attempt of 195 kilograms.
He was a great squatter, great deadlifter, and suffered on the bench press. Well, that's all long gone now. 195 for his second attempt.
Yeah, he's hit 200 kilos before, and that's just 2.5 kilos under Taylor Atwood's national record. Move well.
Yeah. He's a gunslinger, that's for sure.
Versus Derek's second bench attempt of 182.5 kilograms.
Yeah, I'm so far ahead. By no means will that be the conversation.
Especially considering that he's going to deadlift first out of all 5 gentlemen.
And he will finish first. Derek, 182.5 as a 74. Derek's got a big bench press. We're in the 400s already, weighing in at 163 pounds.
Yeah, I think if Austin wasn't here, this would surely be the best bench of the 74 kilo class. But of course, we've got a phenomenal talent in Austin.
Yeah, he's an all-time talent.
Oh, bit of a fight.
It's a fight. I saw a sticking point. I don't think I saw a down-up. Judges agree.
Such equates to a marginal difference of 12.5 kilograms. Historically, Derek's bench press, on average, accounted for 28.23% of his totals, whilst Austin's reliance stood at 22.60%. Even though Austin's baseline bench press projection stood between 205.44 kilograms to 205.72 kilograms, Austin, however, decided not to attempt a third bench press attempt. Nevertheless, it would be reasonable to assume that Austin was on pace for a 200 kilograms bench after a second attempt, purely by accounting for his bench press attempts, which subsequently mirrored his attempt selection at both last season's USAPL Raw Nationals and most recently at the Powerlifting America Bench Press Nationals. For the third and final round of the trials, the marginal difference once again astronomically widened as Austin opened with an apparent weightless 307.5 kilograms deadlift.
Wow. Hopefully it's not a repeat.
Yeah, hopefully not. Just something to point out.
Yeah. Austin Perkins, 307.5. Again, this will put him at 820.5. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a 74. Total 820.5 that easily.
Versus Derek's 235 kilograms opening, which afforded Austin a relative lead advantage of 72.5 kilograms, or 30.85%. If compared with his opening of 302.5 kilograms at the 2023 USAPL Raw Nationals, we saw that Austin has increased its opening deadlift by 5 kilograms. A 307.5 kilograms deadlift opening is also 10.72% above his average opening of 277.77 kilograms, which effectively highlights the tremendous progression of Austin since first starting to compete in 2016. Derek was only able to respond with a second deadlift of 247.5 kilograms.
And a half kilo jump from his opener.
This would give him a match in his best deadlift in competition, 667.5. Depending how this moves, maybe looking to pace to hit a new PR total. A little tough at the top.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot more in the tank.
Moreover, Austin's second and also final deadlift attempt of 326 kilograms impressively appeared also equally weightless as his opening.
For historical purposes, this would be the biggest 74 kilo total ever, beating Taylor Atwood's world record.
Now, Austin previously hit a historic 851 kilo total in September, but that was over 74 kilo body weight. This is for history. Oh.
And there it is. One of the, wow! It's one of the most memorable performances of all time, and he puts the crown on his head, and go ahead, young man, the new king and a new era.
Seeing that Austin did not undertake a third deadlift, such leaves a central unanswered question, such as the possible amount he could have successfully attempted for a third deadlift attempt. Austin's baseline deadlift projection prior to the Powerlifting America Trials stood between a notable 345.80 kilograms to 347.42 kilograms, which is 5.3 kilograms to 6.92 kilograms above Taylor's world record deadlift of 340.5 kilograms. With the advent of Sheffield, we have to wait a couple of months to witness whether Austin will be pushed to his full potential either at the World Classic Championships and or at the Sheffield Championships next year. Theoretically, if we were to add Austin's world leading squat of 318 kilograms, including both his bench press and highlighted top-end deadlift projected baselines, there's a probability that we could have witnessed a new milestone in powerlifting with a cyclopean total of 871.14 kilograms. Alternatively, if we are to, for example, compare Taylor Atwood's world record-setting performance at the 2021 USAPL Raw Nationals for a second attempt on the bench, Taylor had a 59.39% margin of his prior world record total of 812 kilograms. Austin, on the other hand, had a margin of 53.94% of his world record total of 851 kilograms. Furthermore, Taylor, after a second deadlift attempt, assumed a 101.42% margin of his prior total record of 812 kilograms, whilst Austin comprehensively had a 98.59% margin of his world record total of 851 kilograms. As such, others may reasonably argue that Austin wasn't on a world record pace, even though an 839 kilograms total is highly impressive. Overall, Austin finished the trials with a reportedly intended total of 839 kilograms, a mere 0.5 kilograms above Taylor's former world record total of 838.5 kilograms. Impressively, without undertaking any such third attempts for both the bench press and deadlift disciplines. Nevertheless, an 839 kilograms total is between 3.94% to 4.04% below Austin's total projected baseline, which ranges between 872.02 kilograms to 874.32 kilograms. His overall KPI score stands at 85.25%, a slight fall of 2.33% in his overall performance metric, if compared with Austin's 2023 season opening KPI score of 87.58% at the USAPL Grand Prix, where he broke both the squat and deadlift world records. On average, as part of his KPI score, Austin at the Powerlifting America National Trials scored an average of 96.11% of his individual projected baselines, a fall of 8.71% if compared with his 2023 season opening average of 104.82%. The upcoming IPF World Classic Championships should be an interesting watch, as he possibly heads in the battle against the likes of the defending champion Carl Johansson, Timothy Monegatti, and the dark horse Shell Backelund, who recently in the 2024 Arnolds totaled an exceptional total of 815 kilograms, which including a mammoth deadlift of 340 kilograms, a mere 0.5 kilograms below Taylor's deadlift world record of 340.5 kilograms. Whether Austin will feel the impetus to perform close or at his full potential whilst in battle at his first Open World Championships is up for speculation. Understandably, spectators of the sport may need to wait until the next season at the Sheffield Championships to possibly witness the tenacious athlete robustly showcase his utmost potential.